Hello, the Internet. My name is Michael Cutler, and you might know me as the guy who wrote 48 preludes and voluntaries, one every week, over the course of a year or so. Not quite a year, there's only 48 of them. You might also know me as the fellow who posts all those wind chamber concert videos. You might know me in person. You might know me professionally, or personally, or you might just be someone who stumbled across this video at random, in which case, welcome. I am the organist and choir director at Crescent Fort Rouge United Church, and I'm sitting here at the 1911 Cassavant that I do enjoy playing every week, in Crescent Fort Rouge itself. And I'm here to talk to you about a project. Tomorrow is the 1st of November. Well, by the time I finish this video, today will be the 1st of November. And by the time you see it, who knows what day it will be, because the internet is interesting that way. Regardless, tomorrow from where I'm sitting right now will be the 1st of November, and November marks National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo. I, of course, am not a novelist. I am a musician, and I'm a composer, and so I'm going to compose for NaNoWriMo. In place of a full novel being written in a month, I'm going to write a full-scale organ symphony. But there have to be some rules. My first rule is very simple. In the spirit of NaNoWriMo, I'm going to be composing this symphony from 12:01 a.m. November 1st until 11:59 p.m. November 30th, entirely in the month of November. Once midnight rolls around in December, I am done. I may throw some little touches and editing marks in there, but the majority of the work will be done. The form, the notes, it will all be there on the paper. Well, the electronic paper. I compose at a computer. That's not the point. The month of November shall be my time. Symphonies, like sonatas, don't tend to be written in single movements. So my second rule for my own composition is this. It will be a multi-movement work, between 3 and 5 complete independent movements. So no less than 3, no more than 5. Once we move past 5, it's starting to turn into something else. Between 3 and 5 completely independent movements, independent enough that if you wanted to, you could pull one out on its own and use it by itself, but still to create a unified whole with those 3 to 5 movements. My third consideration and my third rule is one of timing. The overall time for the complete work, between 15 and 30 minutes. So if you were to play it as fast as could be reasonably considered to be in good taste, it won't be less than 15 minutes. And if you were to play it as slowly as could be reasonably considered to be in good taste, it wouldn't be more than half an hour. This obviously is not one piece that could be played very, very quickly and go at 15 minutes, or very, very slowly and go at half an hour. That would take longer than 1 month to write such an unusual specimen of a work. No, the likely timing will probably be somewhere between 20 and 25 minutes, but if it winds up being shorter than I expect, and people are able to play it quicker than I expect, then it won't be shorter than 15 minutes, and of course, not wanting to be an entire concert on its own, it won't be longer than half an hour if you are to play it at a reasonable pace. My fourth rule is a little more subjective. This being an organ symphony, it is going to aim to do organ-ish things. So there will be pedal points, long notes which are held for long periods of time. There will be colorful changes in stops and dynamics and registration, but this piece should be playable on any 2-manual instrument with expression. So something in a swell box, something where you're able to make a gradual crescendo or decrescendo, that is what I'm hoping to achieve. Of course, it might not be possible, but that's what I'm aiming for. So like I said, rule 4, a touch more subjective than the others. But I'm going to aim to make this playable on just about any organ. Not every organ, but just about any organ. My last rule has to do with unifying the entire work together. I'm going to use one motif or theme in a prominent place in all the movements as a foundational material to join all the work together. This is going to be the most fun. I had to try and figure out how and what exactly I was going to use. Would I use a hymn tune? Would I use a well-known folk song? Something along those lines? No. The idea came to me as I was walking here tonight to record this. I'm going to use the vowel sounds of NaNoWriMo. So, an old technique for composition allowed you to take words, break them down to their vowel sounds, and put them into the do-re-mi spectrum. Of course, back then it was ut-re-mi. Ut, re-mi, fa, so, and la. So, not so the note, but so, therefore, and, moving along. If we take NaNoWriMo, we can turn that into la, so, mi is a stretch, and so. Na becomes la, the same vowel sound. No, so. Ri, if you take W-R-I and remove the context of it being right or writing, it looks like re, which is a lovely rhyme for me. And mo once more rhymes with so. So NaNoWriMo becomes la, so, mi, so, which is this. And that will be my unifying motif for the entire work. So that's it. 5 rules to create a symphony. I'm giving myself 30 days. I'm writing 3 to 5 movements. I'm writing 15 to 30 minutes of music. I'm writing idiomatically for the organ. And finally, I've got a motif to join the whole thing together. Oh, and I plan to update visually and audibly, hopefully twice a week, maybe 3 times if I get good at it. Regardless, that's what's going to happen for me over the course of National Novel Writing Month. 1 symphony. I hope you'll join me on this journey. It's after midnight. I can do that now.